So I wanted to talk more about some of the things you shared at the event about the eldest
Eldest.
sibling complex.
I didn't know it was a thing until, like, recently, but it makes like, the more I learn about it, it makes sense,
Okay.
and so it's understanding why we are the way we are, and it's not for all eldest kids, depending on how you grew up in the
Mhm.
household. I know some eldest who are from two-parent households, the dad was the supporter, and so they have, like, a different relationship with their siblings and things of that nature, and there may be some similarities, but I am learning more, like, if it was an absent parent, a single parent, you're the next parent.
Yeah.
You're responsible for the siblings with homework, making sure everybody's cleaning. You have to be the responsible person. So you don't
The
really get to
responsible
have
one.
a you get to have a childhood, but you also have to be that help. Some parents also use you, like, emotionally, talking about some of the issues that they have, and I mean, the parents, they only know what they know. They only know it from what they grew up, what their experience was, but growing up now, I understand why I always feel like I have to be the responsible person for everybody. You're the mature they say, "Hey, you're mature for your age when you're young," but it's also because we had to grow up faster, and so it is unlearning a lot of things, like, even to this day, my sisters are married, they have kids, but I still feel like I'm responsible for them to a certain point. So now I'm learning to let the husband lead and not jump in. I'm still a fun auntie, so I'm still gonna do the stuff for the nieces and nephews, but having to be responsible for everybody and then seeing how it shows up in friendships, at work, in relationships. Like,
Mm.
it was like my therapist, she didn't tell me all this when we were working
She
together.
was holding back on you.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is, um, some of, like, putting ourselves last,
Mm.
putting our needs and our feelings because we wanna make sure everybody else is good. We don't wanna make people feel uncomfortable. And that is one of the things that I'm struggling with right now, but it is once I recognize, "Oh, I coulda did this," or accepting help, it takes time. But,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a whole world out there I didn't even know.
I didn't know. I'm telling you, I did not know until you said something. And I was like, that is the thing, huh? And so I remember, so I was telling you I'm the youngest,
Mhm.
right? So my sister, it's just my sister and me. And my sister, we were both in advanced programming, AP. Our parents are educators. Okay. So let me just start with that. Like they are engineers. They met at Purdue. Education is number one. Like
Mhm.
that was the standard in the household. And so my sister graduated high school at 16. Now, mind you, I'm having these reflection or reflective moments in my adulthood. I wasn't thinking about these things when I was young. I was just like living free because I'm the youngest, you know? But I realize now how much pressure she had to, I don't think that she, I don't think that she was in a position of, I use this lightly, raising responsible for me, yes, but also I feel like in my own little memory, whether it's real or not, I believe to have remembered that I had my own thing, she had her own thing. So we were kind of living in two different worlds. She was more so in like tennis and science, like math, science, technology, MST, right?
Yeah.
And I was more so in the dance world, liberal arts, performing arts. And so I give you that context because I don't remember feeling like she was responsible for me. However, after you and I talked, I looked at some of the personality traits,
Mhm.
characteristics, behavioral patterns
Mhm.
of the eldest sibling syndrome.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's my sister. Right. It's like the protector, the keeper, the making sure everyone is okay, fixing the problem before it becomes a problem, carrying the weight. I think for her, it was more so of the emotional pressure of holding things together versus her helping me do my schoolwork or taking me to dance practice.
Mhm.
Like, she didn't carry that particular load,
Yeah.
but I remember now moments of like, if my mom had to work or if she had to teach,
Mhm.
it was like my sister was the one in charge.
Right.
Me being the rebellious one, I was like, that's laughable, right? But it didn't mean that she didn't carry that expectation from her parents to make sure that Vernette was okay.
Right.
So in your upbringing, like, what are you seeing now that maybe kind of cultivated this need for rewiring of the responsible one?
So I'd say now I wanna do more, but I've limited myself on a lot of it, and I also want to be, I'll say be selfish, and I think we talked about
We
that too.
did. You can go into that as
Um,
well.
but I being able to speak up for myself and be okay with making sure my feelings are heard and understood and understanding that, hey, the other person may not like it. 3 years ago, me and my mom, we've never had like the best friend relationship. I love my mom. I love everything that she does for me. Uh, my mom is number 2 in line, and she's the only girl. And there's 5 of us, 3 sisters and 1 brother.
You were the
Yeah.
oldest of 5 total. Okay.
So, my mom, she is one that she feels like, hey, I know what's right. What I say goes. Your feelings don't matter because I know.
Yeah.
So, I went through life trying to make sure, of course, that I pleased her. And I think there was also some need to want approval also from my dad. Like, I'm the oldest on his side. I have 2 sisters, but we didn't have the best relationship either. And even in college, I tried to build something, didn't work out. So it's
Mhm.
like, whatever. But as I got older, I wanted to do more for me. And it was me finally kind of speaking up to my mom, like, hey, this is how I feel about certain things. And I'll just say we had one experience where things went left.
Yeah.
And my sisters, they'll tell her, the one under me completely, and people talk about it, how siblings can be under the same house, all have different personalities, turn out differently. My sister, her and my mom have gone through spats where they don't talk. That's never been me. But this was after certain comments were made from her to me. I was like, all right, this is it. I'm kind of, and so we didn't talk for a little bit. But it was something I was going through with therapy. I've read books like Adult Children of Emotionally Unavailable Parents and a couple of others. It didn't start with you. And it did help me understand because one of the exercises that my therapist had me do was like a family trauma tree. So I understand why my mom is the way that she is. But I'm also learning I can understand that that doesn't make an excuse for her to talk to us certain type of ways and things of that nature. So that kind of started a ripple effect, I'll say, with me setting boundaries. So now there are certain boundaries. Like if I go home, I get a hotel and we talk, but if things go left, I can exit the conversation or before I just kind of take it. But it's understanding that relationship with my mom and dad, how it shows up in my relationships, how it shows up at work and my friendships. And so now it is unlearning because even with that relationship with my mom, I learned, okay, there's certain type of guys that I attract to, and it is me trying to perform to show, hey, I am deserving of X, Y, and Z. And at work, my boss being the leader, okay, I couldn't talk to my mom about certain things because of her way. Can't talk to my boss because he's that authority figure. So it's unlearning those particular patterns to say, hey, my feelings matter. I'm able to express the way that I want my needs and be okay with that. However, the other person responds. I don't have to be the responsible person for everything. And this is me kind of going back a little bit, even with like being the responsible person. I'm the first. So, of course, our parents want more for us than they had. So, it
Mhm.
was also on the academic side,
Yeah.
being making sure like one time I had like a 91 and it was too close to a B. So like I got in trouble. But it was me always pushing.
Yeah.
And so I do it with work, I do it with relationships, and now it's me unlearning like if I'm dating someone, I don't have to prove why they should like me. I should figure out if I like them.
Yeah.
And that's hard. Like, it's something I never thought about, between me helping raise my brothers and sisters, me being a people leader, like, I don't want kids. And I I enjoy kids. I've never been that person of, "Oh, I need to be married by a certain age and have kids by a certain age." I've always been told, "You're a great sister, smart student." I've never been told, "You'll be a good mom." That wasn't something that I've heard. And the older I get, now that I'm learning more about myself, I'm getting to live for myself. It's like, I don't wanna bring a kid. It's selfish to say, I wanna continue this way, 'cause I feel like I'm just now getting to learn myself and not what my mom or others want me to be.
Like
It's
not living in other people's expectations
Mhm.
because you've grown up that way.
Yeah.
You've lived in a box of expectations that's been imposed on you
Mhm.
really at an early age
Mhm.
because you are the oldest,
Yeah.
right? So it is parents learning how to parent.
Mhm.
And I can say that as a parent. It's like, you figure it out with the first one, right? It's like, that's not always the healthiest thing, but it's
It's
like,
learning.
it is, that's typically what happens, right? You learn
Mhm.
how to parent with the first one and then you kind of get better with the subsequent ones and hope everything goes well. But then also, it sounds like you have been living in this box of wanting approval from those that have more authoritative posturing in your life. I don't know what to call it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in relationships, like, how does that show up in relationships for you?
Like
That
friendship relationships
mindset.
or like with
Both,
guys.
like, platonic and romantic.
So it is being the fixer, wanting to help everybody, not accepting help from
Mhm.
people because sometimes people may say they'll help and they don't, and then you have that disappointment or people don't do it the way that you
That
would
you want it
want
to
it
be
to be
done.
done,
That's real.
or just that need to be the strong person. And so it is, I mean, it's a good characteristic to have, but it is also learning like it's okay to not do everything and let people figure it out because you don't want to enable people. But I'd say in relationships, I'm usually like if somebody is saying, hey, they have a problem with something, in my head, I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to offer them advice and I'm putting my stuff on the back burner to be able to make sure that this person is good. And that's not healthy because I have stuff that I should be doing, whether
Mhm.
it's with work, with business, with not doing anything, like working out or something. But it's also being attracted, like I said, to guys where I feel like I need their approval. I know that some of these people aren't the best for me, but I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, if I do this little thing, then they'll love me and keep trying. Oh, it didn't work this time, so I'll do it this way. But it's the same pattern with work of trying to, and it's anticipating the needs of that other person because with my mom, it's okay, let me make sure that my brothers and sisters do this because we don't want her upset about that. My boss making sure that I know his thought process
Mhm.
so I can make sure the team does X, Y, and Z, or the person that I'm dating, oh, I know they have X, Y, and Z going on, so let me do this. Like there's this one guy who worked a lot,
Mhm.
didn't eat. And so, like, I just ordered food one day. And I mean, it's something that's nice because I am a caring person, but it's
Yeah.
also trying to fight for approval. This person's an adult. If they don't eat, that's on them. I don't have to do
Mhm.
that. Uh, and it was me accepting things that I really didn't want. Knew I know what I want in a relationship and what the boundaries should be, but I put that to the side
Yeah.
because this person's showing me some type of attention, so
Mm.
I can just deal with it
I
kind of
think
thing.
it's interesting how we self-sacrifice ourselves in relationships
Mhm,
for approval or even like this false sense of belief, I like to say, of worthiness. It's like it's the little girl, right? We call them like childhood
mhm,
wounds. I am not a therapist, but I have been to therapy for several years for different stages in my transition, right?
mhm,
But it's interesting when we look at, like, the little girl that's wanting to be
Picked.
and how it's almost like sometimes it's very insidious. We don't even realize that it's showing up in our adult
Mhm.
relationships when really it's the little girl in us that wants approval. She wants to be picked. She wants to be liked. She wants to be accepted.
Yeah.
And so it's like all these children coming, right? Because it's like, this is the work that we do on a regular basis when we see those aha moments that like pivot our nervous system to say, you know what, I don't like how this is making me feel.
Right.
I need to lean more into that. What is this? And then you realize you've opened up this whole box of aha moments where you're like, one, I'm not the only one.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times I think in different categories of the exhausted woman, exhausted superwoman archetype, like I believe that sometimes we believe that we're the only ones.
Mm.
And so we're already the fixers and we're the caretakers and we're the responsible ones. We're the strong ones.
Mhm.
We're tired, yet we're still showing up. We want the brownie points. Like I'm tired, but I still showed up.
Right.
You know, when it's a sacrificial type of showing up, not a I am here, I want to be present, I'm rested, all the things,
Mhm.
right? So I think that as we learn more about ourselves in our adult relationships, not only with ourself, but also with the external environment or people around us, there's almost this unfolding of the realization that it comes down to like, what does my little girl need?
Mhm.
And how do we get there? Like, how can we create a safe landing space for her?
Mhm.
How are you navigating the realization that you have this mindset or this conditioning? We'll say conditioning,
Conditioning,
right?
yeah.
That you have to be the strong one, you have to be the responsible one, you have to be the fixer in all of your relationships and environments. How are you navigating your rewiring into who you want to be and how you want to show up? Like, what does that navigation look like for you in real time?
So a good bit right now is me being okay or forgiving myself for what I didn't know at the time.
That's
So that's
good.
kind of the first part. You're like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Like you start to replay scenarios and what could have happened and what you should have said, but you didn't know. And I know there's like a quote or a post on social media floating around like, forgive yourself for not knowing what only time could show you.
Mm.
And that one is very big. Affirmations. So, like even on my watch, I have a
Oh,
different
I love that.
here.
They rotate, they pop up different
So
affirmations.
I'll have this one for my watch. My phone, I do have like 3 or 4 that I alternate through. One of my favorites is Trust Your Dopeness. I may have mentioned that one. We did meet.
Yes.
So it's knowing that my voice, my opinions matter. Um, how I look, making sure I'm taking care of myself, making time for myself. So working out, me getting back into that and not letting, "Oh, I have this meeting at 9," deter me from waking up at 7 to stretch. Give
Mhm.
myself before I give into others, give myself, like, 30 minutes. Do my prayer, do my meditation, stretch, start morning slow is something that I'm still working on. I do have to still have discipline with certain things. So, yes, it's me learning, but not using that as an excuse to not actually make moves. So, even now, I'm like in this weird space of career wise,
Mhm.
I know it's safe, but I'm not happy with where I
Mhm.
am. And so, it's trying to figure out what else because I've gone through this because it's what I'm supposed to do. So now it's trying to figure that out. And to your point earlier, what does little Tawana like and what does she need? I played the piano. I can get back into that. But it's also me trying to figure out if it's what I really liked or if it was because this is what I was told that I need to do. So it is finding more about what I like. Aerial is one thing that I love
Wow.
doing. It's a mental break
Yeah.
from everything. It brings other people joy. It's kind of weird when because I go all out. I like being able, like, if there's a theme that we have, I get to put on my costume.
Yeah.
I get to dance in the hoop, and it's something that's a mental break from everything else in life. And when I
Mhm.
post my videos, some people will message me and be like, "This just made me so happy. This is so cool. I love seeing your growth from it."
Yeah.
And then there are people who may not like the post or anything, but I'll see them out and they'll be like, "You're such an inspiration for doing X, Y, and Z." And I'm like,
Thank
"Thank you."
you. So, first of all, that's effing amazing. It's playtime. That's what I think of when you say that. It's like you get to go play,
Mhm.
and you can explore and you can be creative and you can be in your own world that no one can tell you anything. No one can give you boundaries. No one can restrict you. If you want to put on an outfit or makeup or whatever theme that you want to create, like you can be able to do that without limits. It reminds me of playtime. When you're young and like run in the rain or you jump in the puddles
Mhm.
or you squish the leaves, which I still do that at fall time, walking on the trail and you just like step on the leaves and you hear the crunch.
Crunch.
It's nostalgic, right? It's like those type of moments that are like little girl joy
Mhm.
moments, that bring you back to what it's like to not have the heaviness of the world and all its expectations.
Yes, that's exactly it. I don't think of it as playtime, but yeah, it is playful. It's
Uh-huh.
freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Yeah,
Enjoy that.
enjoying it for you. I can't wait to watch your videos. Like but it's cool though, like to see someone. It is freedom. It's freedom in your own creativity. It's liberation. I mean, I guess that means freedom too, but you don't have,
That responsibility.
I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah.
keep saying freedom, but that's what it is.
It's different space. Like you said, the creativity part, using different parts that in my day to day, I have to be serious, be in meetings, take care of the team, and there it goes. But this is a moment for me to be free in the music. I love music. So I have my playlist that if my mood has gone awry and put this on, lifts me up, and then okay, I can get back to it. Or give myself a day to not talk to people or do
Mm,
anything. Yeah.
yeah. And be unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that just rolled right in there because you're in your like left brain, you're in your logical, structured, analytic brain for really it sounds like all parts of your life. And then when you transition over to this right brain where it's like abstract and it's creative and it's wild and it's free and it's messy and it's light and it's heavy and it's like it's just like limitless.
Yeah.
You have no boundaries, you have no expectations for yourself. It allows you to let your hair down
Mhm.
and just to play.
So
When you look into forgiving yourself, I do want to ask more about that. So, when I'm just in conversation with women, because we just be talking, okay, the there's almost like there's a wall that's up. Like I can't touch it. I can't go onto the other side when we're stuck in a mindset or we're stuck in this conditioning. What allowed you to give yourself permission to play or give yourself permission to start forgiving yourself? Like, what were the initial parts that changed for you to be able to pivot more into self forgiveness and freedom?
I didn't like where I was, I'd say.
Mm.
And it was, if I don't change, then I'm stuck. And I can't forgive others without forgiving myself. And I'd say at some point you just get tired.
Was it the tiredness? Just feeling like I'm over it. There's got to be something else.
And so it's being okay with, I didn't know this, or even if I start to overthink, because you have those ruminating thoughts of,
Mhm.
oh, I shouldn't have done this. I did that. Why didn't I think of that? We think that people care more about us. And I'm saying this because let's say we're having a conversation. I know when I leave here, I'm be like, oh man, why did I say that? She probably like I go through all these thoughts. You've moved on with your day. You are not thinking about the stuff that I have in my head. And so it's one realizing like it's not that big of a deal. And I think the tiredness was the biggest thing. Like I wanted more for myself. The people that I do see that are more carefree, like being able to embody that, like that they're inspirations, I'd say. And it's like, okay, if they can do it, why not me? And so like that's one of the for my affirmations, I also write them down on the mirror in the bathroom. And so why not me was one that I would just keep telling myself, why not me? And then also, what would happen if I acted right? Like so
Mm,
you have an alter ego, and this is the alter ego part was in one of the books that I've read previously, and then there's another one that I found, I think on YouTube that
mhm.
literally, I think the title is Alter Ego Effect or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm in the process of reading that one, but like what would that alternate version of me who didn't care so much about what others thought that was free, like what would that look like? Was is helping. Although I can't say was because I'm still trying to figure it
Yeah,
out.
your process of
But I think the biggest thing was me just being tired from the draining relationships, from putting people before me,
mhm,
or having the expectations that because I'm a certain way with someone that they'd automatically be that way with me.
mhm.
And it's like, okay, I have to do something different.
Yeah. What would you say to the woman that is in transition of being more selfish with her time and trusting her dopeness?
I'd say you got it. You got it. Don't overthink it. Make yourself a big deal. Everybody else is going to make themselves a big deal. Make yourself a big deal. You matter. You're important. You should love yourself. I have it actually tattooed here too. Telling you I'm big on affirmations, but
Yeah.
I have a tattoo here that's a heart, but it says love yourself. Self love. We can't. Of course, we want the acceptance of others, but we have to accept ourselves first, and
Yeah.
that's the first part. And accepting ourselves who we are.
For the eldest sibling complex, what advice do you have for her or him?
I'd say learn more about it. it so educate yourself on this. There'll be small things, and just like you said, that you never thought of. And then when you started looking it up, you're like, hey, that is my sister. I'm glad that more people are talking about it now.
Mhm.
I'm glad that people are open to having these conversations and unlearning. So I definitely say you're not, well, of course, learn about it, but you're not
Yeah.
alone in it
Mhm.
too.
I think it helps to have a name in whatever we're like navigating. It helps to like name it. It almost feels like you anchor it like, okay, I can name this. And even though we name it, we may not be ready to work on it.
Mm.
And so we can kind of put it on the shelf and say, okay, at least I know the name to it. So that way I can piece together information that's going to help me to create resources and tools that we can be able to start the process of unpacking, like what's coming up. Right. And so the affirmations part is huge. That's what's standing out for me because when we think something, it can manifest into the vision that you have, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'd say to your note about like getting that information, don't get into the analysis paralysis
Mm.
because that was something that I like learning. I love learning new things, but I did realize it was me soaking up all this information and not taking action, thinking, oh, okay, if I do this, then this is going to make it perfect. Also, progress, not perfection. I think
Mm.
you may have actually put that in the message too, but that's an important part. Just take the step, do one thing, because if you just keep soaking up information, that's not gonna help.
It's not.
We got to take action.
But the way that our minds are wired, we're like, oh, okay, you go down this rabbit
Mhm.
hole, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we have gone too far. We need to bring it back, right? It has. Yeah. Well, I appreciate your transparency, your presence, your vulnerability. your lived experience. I mean, you are an inspiration because the woman that does listen to this podcast or watches this podcast is allowing herself to be inspired by her reflection, which is you standing at this crossroad of tiredness. And she's like, I can't keep doing what I'm doing. Like, this is not working for me. It's not sustainable. There has to be something different. So for her to be able to listen and witness what you have to share, I mean, that's what we're here. We are each other's medicine. So I commend you for the work that you're doing. I want to continue to like encourage you to keep showing up. Cause I mean, that's not only healing yourself, but the women around you too.
Dr. Burnett, I appreciate that.
Yeah.